guys, you're not even about to know who I am. We are doing a ruthless unhaul and decluttering of my shelves. As you may have seen in my life update video, I am about to have brain surgery, and I've read so much about how having so much in your space can lead to anxiety, and I just don't think that coming back from brain surgery and like immediately looking at this space is going to be helpful to me. And there's just so many books that I've gotten to the point, and I've talked about this in videos before, where I am not even reading what I want to, or like what I plan that I'm going to enjoy, because I feel like I have to read these other books first. Like it's almost like I'm saving the best for last, and I'm like not allowing myself to read what I want to read, and I'm forcing myself to read these other books before I can get to the ones I want to read, and that just doesn't seem healthy to me. Like I think that this like sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. I feel like this life-threatening surgery is just making me realize how fragile life is and how little time you have. I don't want to waste my time like on reading books that I'm not enjoying. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. So I'm really planning to just declutter this space and make it so that it is something that I enjoy looking at and I'm happy when I walk in and see it, because right now I'm not happy with how this looks. I mean, let me, for example, look at this. That's just so much. Like, there's too many books here. I also really love board games, so I just have not hundreds, but like probably 50 board games on top of my closet, and I'd love to get them so that they're on the bottom shelves of these bookshelves and I could just like pull them out easier and play them easier. I feel like I don't reach for them as often because they're like high up, and like if you pull one out, like 6 are gonna fall on you. I'm just gonna be doing a really ruthless unhaul. I'm even gonna get rid of like duplicates of books that I love, like Strange the Dreamer. I don't feel like I need that many. I think the only ones that I'm gonna keep my duplicates of are Little Women, Crown of Feathers, and Fourth Wing. I think they're like really the only duplicates I'm gonna keep, unless I come across some others, but for the most part that's like in my head what I'm keeping. I'm even getting rid of some of my duplicates of my Six of Crows shelf, which is one of my favorites. It's just becoming too much to look at. I want to be able to look at my shelves and see nice shelves and not like stacks just everywhere. And I want to look at my shelves and be like, I'm so excited to read all of these books. That's the goal for today. 26 days till surgery. That's the goal for today. So that's the really emotional intro, I guess. I did not expect to get emotional. That's what we're gonna be working on. Stick with me while we do this thing. I think I'm gonna start. Okay, so that pile, I will say, I already went through some, and those I'm getting rid of. So I'm gonna move those out of the way and just kind of like work my way down the shelves. Like start at the top and then work down. Let's do this thing. I know for a fact up there is the Poppyware. I'm definitely keeping my Poppyware series, I love it. And then I don't really have duplicates on this shelf, but I think I'm gonna get rid of some of these. First of all, I'm getting rid of this tree. I can go over there. These are actually like hard to say goodbye to because the pictures on them are gorgeous, but they're the French editions. I'm never gonna read the French editions. I'm also getting rid of a ton of like little things on my shelves because I just want more space for the books. I might have a few things I keep, but for the most part it's just gonna be like things that really stand out. I don't know. I decided to like keep this set of Strange the Dreamer because I coveted these for so long and I was so excited when I found this one. This is just like the most gorgeous blue ever. Very happy I have this edition. I was between that and the like ones with the cool covers, like the alternative book covers, but I ended up deciding on these. Okay, so that was shelf 1. We got rid of like a lot on these 2 shelves, mostly duplicates. I'm gonna move on to the next shelf now. For the most part, I'm pretty proud with how that went. These books down here are ones I'm very excited about reading, so I'm fine with having those on my shelf. Let's move over to the next shelf, shall we? I might need the stool to reach the top over there. These are books I'm currently, I read this one this month, and I'm currently reading this one. I'm not gonna keep either, so I'm gonna put them in my unhaul pile, even though I need to do my wrap up still, but I'll just do a picture. Pretty much gonna keep Throne of Glass shelf as is. I'm gonna get rid of a few of the things up here. I just don't need them. I'm gonna put my deck of cards with the other cards I have. I'm gonna set them aside for now, but I have a bunch of like playing cards. Not a breath, woo. But for the most part, that's pretty much gonna stay as is. I like how it looks. All right, ready for another ruthless unhaul? I just found $20. Oh my gosh, that was sweet. Glad I checked in there. I think I like this cover more, but I don't have the other versions of this. I only have the first book, so I'm just gonna keep the other ones, these ones. Okay, that one's not being touched. I love the shelf. This might be my favorite shelf of all my shelves, so this is staying the same. The only thing, I have 2 of these, so I might actually, no, I love the scent of this, so, oh wait, no, this isn't the one. I have 2 of this one. I don't like that scent as much. Yep, we're gonna get rid of the duplicate here. Alright, we got rid of one thing from the shelf. I'm proud of that. But this is my pride and joy, so this won't be changing. I'm probably gonna remove everything and dust the shelf. It's not changing. Alright, on to the next shelf. So I have 2 copies of Babel. I'm going to look up what this one looks like on the inside because I never opened it. That way if I like this one more, I can keep this one sealed. But if I like this one more, I'll keep this one over this one. But I just want to know what this one looks like first. But I'll do that separately. Okay, I definitely like the black version more of Book of Night, so we're going to unhaul the white one. Okay, that shelf wasn't as good, but at least we have some space now on it. And it's no longer like stacked on top of each other. Getting rid of this. Getting rid of this. Okay, I want to read the synopsis on these before I decide if I want to keep them or not. And then these are ones I no longer care. Again, not as good of an unhaul on that one, but at least there's a little bit of space now. Why do I have the Blood Trials in regular as book 1, but the special edition of book 2? How did I get the special edition? Where's book 1 special edition? If I find book 1 special edition, I'll keep that and then get rid of this one. So I'm gonna set these to the side. I also feel like I have this one as a duplicate somewhere, the Ivory Key. I'm gonna set this aside in case I have that. Same with Beasts of Prey. I'm gonna get rid of this thing. I never use it. Okay, it doesn't look like I got rid of a lot there, but I feel like I did, so that's what counts, right? Alright, we're gonna move on to this shelf. Probably not gonna be very much either, but we're gonna do our best. Well, I don't know when that stopped filming, so I hope it got most of it. Did not hear it stop filming. My bad. We got rid of a lot. There's my unhaul pile. There's what they're looking like now. We're gonna move on to this shelf. Move my big boy out of the way. Okay, again, I know for a fact I'm getting rid of the top shelf stuff, so we'll start there. Except for these. This is like my playbill. So every musical I've gone to, I keep the playbills in here. Love this. Keeping this. And then this is also staying. I'll just move it over. All of this is going. Moving this out of the way, I am going to say right now, the only things that will be coming off this shelf are trinkety things, because these are literally my favorite sci-fis. It's Aurora Rising, Illuminae, Skyward, Cinder series, the Winter Chronicles, and then Scythe. So those I love. They will not be coming off the shelf. So we're just going to look at the trinkets, kind of go from there, and then move to the next shelf. These I'm just going to take back to my Disney room and put on my Star Wars shelf at home. And these I'm going to put in my Christmas box to bring back out at Christmas time. Moving on to the next shelf. Also, I don't know how many of these I'm going to get rid of because I love pirate books. So probably not going to get rid of many of these either. Okay, these trinkets are going to go. I think I'm also going to find a different place for the turtles. Same with this turtle. Captain, not Jack Sparrow, Captain Hook from Once Upon a Time will be staying though. Killian. Yeah, I got rid of one. I love them, okay? This one's gonna get a serious unhaul. This bad boy is about to see the light of day. Let me see. Keeping this because I think this is so cool. Getting rid of all of these candles. Getting rid of this poster. Getting rid of this copy of Rule of Wolves. I'm keeping these two because they are special edition and signed by Lee Bardugo. But I'm also keeping this one because this was one of the first books that I got when I started like my booktube, and Anthony got it for me. So definitely keeping this for excuse me, sentimentality. Getting rid of this and getting rid of these. I'm gonna keep all of these. I know duplicates of Six of Crows, but I really like the special editions and I really like my normal copies because again, this was like the first book I read that got me into booktube. So I am going to keep that for that reason. However, I'm going to unhaul some of these Shadow and Bone things. Getting rid of these, getting rid of the chapstick, getting rid of Mal and Alina. Ugh. I think I'm going to keep the original paperbacks and unhaul the newer paperbacks, but I'm keeping these ones. I'm also unhauling the 2 collector's editions of Shadow and Bone. Don't need them. And then the other 3 are not duplicates, so I can keep those. I'm gonna get rid of this one. I don't like the smell of the candle. I'm gonna put all these little trinkety things in this box here. Guys, look how much more space is on the shelf. I might make this section right here Bonesmith to allow for a little more space on the Crown of Feathers shelf, but it'll still be in line with Crown of Feathers. But we'll do that during like the bookshelf reorganization. Star Wars, again, not really gonna touch. I might move where it is and make more Star Wars shelves because I have a lot of Star Wars books, but for the most part, I'm keeping all of these. But I will move these trinkets back up to the pirate shelf. The longer I look at this, I might get rid of more candles, but for now, those are gonna stay. I might put this in my Star Wars room back home, but otherwise, I really like the trinkets on that shelf. They're pretty minimal. So we're just gonna skip down to this next shelf. I'm gonna unhaul these because I'm about to purchase the special edition Fairyloot ones. So they will take that place of that. These are gonna go, they've been sitting on my shelf forever. And I haven't read them yet. And I have no desire to pick them up now. I need to read the synopsis of that one. And this is a keep. This is a keep. I need to read the synopsis of the Iron Fae series. I don't know if I'm gonna keep these. I think I might unhaul them. I don't know. I need to think about it. Moving on. This is the author of Red Queen. These are pretty much all my special editions, so I'm pretty happy about keeping these. So we're gonna move on to the shelf I'm already on the ground, so I'm just gonna stay right here and look at these two sections. Okay, cleared off one shelf, so that's pretty good. This is all my Sweet Valley High books, so I might put the other children's books on this shelf here. But again, the goal is to like clear out the bottom shelves so I can put my board games down here. Okay, moving on up. I feel like I need a bigger shelf for all my manga, so I'm gonna work on clearing out a bigger shelf for these, and then a smaller shelf. Maybe I'll put these on a smaller shelf, and then all my manga across a bigger shelf. I think I'm gonna put these hardcover graphic novels with the rest of my graphic novels out in the living room. I feel like I'm just not as into Fruits Basket as I used to be, so I think I'm gonna unhaul my Fruits Basket stuff. I love Orange though. Highly recommend this graphic novel series, or manga series. Same with Your Name. I think I'm gonna unhaul this one. I'm gonna unhaul these editions of Sailor Moon because I like these editions so much more. I think I'm gonna unhaul Witch and Wizard, also Blackbird, but I'm going to keep Demon Slayer and Astro Lost in Space. I need to think on Little Witch Academia, but I think I'm gonna unhaul it. And I need to read the first volume of Spy Family and then I'll decide on this. And all of these graphic novels I'm gonna put with the rest of my graphic novels. I'm gonna collect all of these book pots together and see which ones I have and which ones I care about keeping. This is gonna be controversial, but I'm gonna get rid of the rest of these Rick books. I thought Percy Jackson was fun. It wasn't my favorite. I'll keep it, but I've just never reached for the rest of them, like the rest of Rick Riordan's series, like Magnus Chase, and the Gods of Asgard, the Serpent's Shadow, Arusha, and the Song of Death, which is weird for me because I love mythology, but I just never reach for them. And these were fun for the read-through, but I think I'm gonna unhaul them. I just don't ever see myself reaching for Pure and Easy. I told you guys this was gonna be ruthless. Same with Lovely War. I don't think I'll ever get to it. There was something I thought was funny about this one though. What was it? I think it was something about like my birthday was in here or something. Yeah, there's my birthday. Aphrodite, March 20. Okay, out of this one and this one, I definitely prefer this one because of this spine. Not a fan. I think I'll keep the Heroes of Olympus because it is like mostly continuation of Percy Jackson, and I think I will reach for those at some point. But it's definitely not today. But we did, once I move these up, we cleared off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves, so that's pretty good. And then we still have this shelf here that I'm gonna go through. I think I'm gonna get rid of some of like the less cool editions of Little Women and only keep the ones that I like, really enjoy, and then get rid of some of the other classics I have. Don't need them. I'm gonna get rid of this teacup. I have so much breakable stuff down here. I like this little shelf. I think I might make a mythology shelf. Looking pretty good. I might do another run through and like be a little more ruthless. We are looking a lot emptier than we were. That's for sure. I need to figure out what I'm putting on the top shelves. I think I'm gonna put my Harry Potter stuff from out there on one of the top shelves because it's light, so if it falls it's not gonna like hurt me. It's just like Legos, so I don't want it taking up a bunch of shelf space like it has been, so I can have a full shelf, and it also will not be in any shots, which would be nice. I still have bookshelves over there, bookshelves over here, this bookshelf, and then the books on top of that bookshelf. So we have a ways to go, but I'm gonna work on getting this area cleaned up so that I can move around. So I'll catch you in a little bit. Okay, I am going to start on this shelf. I already know right off the bat there are several on this shelf right here that I'm going to get rid of from the top of my head, so we're going to start with those. Cat beds out of the way. I'm just going to pile everything on the table I have here. Okay. I know for a fact I'm getting rid of the jewels. I started to get into it. I don't know. I'm just... When you have to have brain surgery, it gives you a new perspective on things. I'm gonna keep those. Definitely keeping the selection. And I'm definitely keeping the Lord of the Rings. I still want to read this really badly. I actually think I'm gonna take this for recovery for brain surgery. I am getting rid of The Witcher though. If I decide I want to read it, these are like pretty commonly produced, so I can just rebuy these. This one was pretty cute. I really enjoyed it, but I don't know if I'll ever read it again, so I'm gonna pass on this. Half that shelf right there. The bottom shelf is all Shadowhunters, which I still plan to read, so I'm not gonna get rid of those yet. Let's go here. Definitely still want to read these. I'm debating on my John Green books. I don't know if I want to read those. No. I really liked this one, Opposite of Always, but I can always read it on audiobook again if I want to read it again, and then Blackout. I liked it the first time, but after like sitting on it, I just don't know if it was my favorite. These are gonna look so good on my shelf once I read them and have them like turned outside. Also, if you don't know, I have my books turned backwards for the ones I haven't read yet because I hate how it looks. So I'm hoping to like encourage or motivate myself to read them quicker by having them backwards so that I can turn them around. I'm gonna get rid of this. Isn't it so cute? Okay, I'm feeling good about that row. Pretty happy with those. Let me go to the top row, make sure there's all of those. Make sure there's none that I don't want to keep anymore because I've already read them and just I'm not feeling it. And then we'll go to the 2 rows here. This was one of the very first books that I read getting back into like reading in 2019, and my friend loaned it to me, my coworker. I loved it so much. I will never get rid of this book. I bought it. This is not her copy, this is my copy, so I will never get rid of this one. Okay, that shelf is done. So we're moving on to the shelf. I already have plans for it. So most of this top row I know is going to be going. This is my Harry Potter shelf. I think I'm going to move this to the top of my bookcases because 1, I don't really care for them to be in the background of my videos, and 2, I'm going to be getting rid of stuff on the top of my bookcases in my like office. So this like Lego set and stuff will be good to put up on top. This shelf is pretty much gonna probably stay the same. I might get rid of a few trinkets off it, but overall this is my Avatar shelf, so I don't plan to get rid of a lot. This is my Disney shelf, pretty much same. I don't plan to get rid of a lot. And then these shelves here are my graphic novels and musical playbills. So we'll kind of playbill it by ear. So I also do want to get rid of some of the stuffed animals. You can't see it on that side. Well, maybe like a little bit. Some of the stuffed animals on the top of the shelves because they are taking up a lot of room. So let's get started on the shelf. Okay, it's a new day and I'm planning to work on reorganizing today. I'm gonna do where I take everything off the shelves and kind of work through them, do one last look through, make sure everything on my shelves is what I want to keep, and then I'm gonna wipe them down and then I'm gonna reorganize. I have a little diagram here of how I want to do it. I do have to be careful because some of these are very exposed to the sun. So if they're like in the sunlight, I want to make sure that they're books that are like easily replaceable or like not as important to me. So probably my romances, those are $10 to replace if I really need to, and they're not special edition or anything. So I think I'm gonna put my romances on the 3 shelves that are like super exposed to sunlight. I want to do like Bridgerton, historical fiction up here, and then my contemporaries here, and then romance, 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 and then the bottom shelf, which you can't see, I'm just gonna keep Shadow Hunters because that's what it is right now. Also, I wanted to mention, I think I mentioned in the video earlier that I have all my books backwards if I haven't read them. I think I'm over it. I think I'm just gonna turn them back normal and just enjoy looking at my shelves again. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I started going through, I think I'm gonna get rid of these ones so far. And I'm kind of doing like themings of each, so we'll see how it continues. Okay, I think I'm past my John Green era. I'm gonna get rid of these as well. Okay, I'm using these 2 paperbacks. They're not gonna stay on the shelf, but I have 2 like contemporary romances back home, and I want to make sure they fit how I want them to on the shelves. So these are paperbacks of about the same size, so I'm going to use these as like stand-ins. Trying to figure out what to do because I still have so much space. So I might make down here middle grade, maybe. We'll play around with it. I will check back in with you later. Okay, so this is where we ended with the shelves. We have like historical fiction romance up here, and then we have seasonal romance, so we have like Christmas and then like beach reads up here, and then here is just regular like office romances, fake dating, all that. This is like my contemporary shelf leaning into like more of the YA, and then down here is YA, the Lord of the Rings, the Shatter Me series, selection series. It's a hodgepodge. I'm not super happy with this shelf, so this may change. And then the bottom is Shadow Hunters, but now we're gonna move on to the shelf over here. Here is our next shelf. This one's probably gonna change a lot, but my current thought process is like manga on the top shelf. This shelf will be like manga leading into pre-Avatar The Last Airbender and post-Avatar The Last Airbender, aka Korra. This one will be specifically Avatar The Last Airbender, and then Disney middle grade is kind of where I'm at right now, but we'll just kind of work on it and see where it goes from there. And I'm gonna work on this. I'll put in like a little time lapse, but I'll check in with you in a little bit. So this is where we landed. Up here you can't really see it, but I have Percy Jackson and Disney ones that are like kind of real world kids, like Kingdom Keepers. Then this is gonna be my D&D shelf. I might flip these 2 or even like move this to the bottom because it's not gonna be as pretty. I'm gonna get a like box or something here, like a decorative box to put all my D&D stuff in. So these are like my D&D books. These are books that like Legends and Lattes that are kind of like D&D themed. And then Attack on Titan over here. And then a little bit of overflow of Avatar. This is all Avatar. This is like Disney retellings. and then I have graphic novels, and then on the very bottom I have a bunch of manga. So that is where we landed. Okay, so I'm gonna work on my office shelves now. I have about 25 minutes before Leah gets here, and she's gonna go through all the clothes I unhauled, because I'm just on an everything purge right now. But I want to try to get the first 2 top rows done before she gets here. So I'm kind of planning Star Wars High Republic, extra Star Wars / leading into superheroes, and science fiction, like my favorite science fiction's over here. And then I'm planning my V.E. Schwab shelf. I might put a couple more things on that shelf too. I'm trying to decide what else I can put there. And then I have my Throne of Glass shelf, and then over here will be my A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then the rest of what's left of my little circus shelf here. So that's kind of the plan for now. Let's get started. I will check in with you in a bit. Okay, so change of plans. Instead of the extra Star Wars superheroes here, I'm going to put it there like I already did, and then do High Republic here instead of moving science fiction all the way over here. It's already there. Why reinvent the wheel? We're just gonna keep it there. So I'm not 100% in love with the way that this looks, and I want to make sure that I look at the order of the canon timeline and make sure that those are in the correct order, because I don't think they are. But I just need to take all these Throne of Glass, move them down one shelf, and then put the High Republic Star Wars there. And I do have some extra room, I'm going to, at least on the High Republic shelf, which is perfect because they're gonna be releasing more books, of course, so yeah. Okay, we got our High Republic up here, feeling pretty good about that. There's still space for the book I'm currently reading, and then if I turn the one that's facing out in, there's plenty of space there for more to add. And then I did move Throne of Glass down here, so now I just need to clear out the pirate shelf, and also this shelf. Might just keep V.E. Schwab there and then move circus over, and then clear off that shelf for never mind. I might be able to combine ACOTAR with V.E. Schwab and then do circus with something else. Let me see what I can come up with. I have like 0 minutes to do this, so let's just see how far we can get. Yes, I was able to get V.E. Schwab and ACOTAR together, so now I just need to clear off this shelf and figure out what I'm doing there, but I'm gonna wait because Leah just got here. Okay friends, it's been a hot second since I've checked in. I ended up finishing the shelves. I didn't want to film in the dark. It was dark outside and I didn't have my lighting kit out, and I didn't honestly want to drag it out and have less space when I already don't have space right now because of the piles of books I'm unhauling everywhere. But I ended up finishing the shelves. Even though it's not recorded, it's still beautiful and I'm so proud of them. I will at some point, probably when I get back from recovery of brain surgery, to film a bookshelf like tour, like an official tour. But I really just want to like finalize things and get all these books I'm unhauling out of my space, and then come back from recovery ready to show you guys. But I'll just give you a quick rundown. Up here we have like pretty much all sci-fi, so this is like space sci-fi, this is Star Wars, and that is like superhero sci-fi. Then we have V.E. Schwab into Sarah J. Maas, into Caraval and the circusy themes. Then we have my Grishaverse, Crown of Feathers, into kind of that necromancery kind of vibe, as well as Game of Thrones. Down here we have some of my favorites, specifically ones that feature mythical creatures, into like my Trisha Levenseller books. Then down one is my favorite series like Furyborn, Children of Blood and Bone, and those kinds. Behind me we have Asian mythology, which is one of my favorites, and then over here we have Greek mythology. Below that we have African mythology, as well as books that are my favorite by Black authors, as well as retellings. So we have King Arthur retellings and Goose Girl. I was like, what's the other one? And then over here we have more of the fairy tale retellings down here. So these are more of the classic fairy tales that you hear, or the westernized fairy tales like Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Rapunzel, those ones. And then on the bottom I actually got my board games, so I'm so happy about that. And then over here is my dystopian, my paranormal, my books about books. We have, why am I blanking on the word? It's literally one of my favorites, like Pirates and Sea Adventures. Down below we've got books about trials. And then over here we have all my classics. So, oh, and then over there on my little shelf, I've got the books from my childhood and my Sweet Valley collection. So I've got all my books mostly in here, and then the ones out front. And I have unhauled so many books. I'm actually probably gonna post the unhaul before you guys see this, so you'll see how many books I got rid of, but I'm really proud of myself. And I just wanted to film this outro because pretty much the whole bookshelf video was done. I just never filmed the outro, so here it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this bookshelf reorganization, and I will check you in my next video. Bye friends.